Well, this is where systems of equations are used in the real world. So we are going to read some problems and then determine what the variable is, write some equations, and then solve them. We're going to find out what two variables equal. So step one, define your variables. What are the two unknowns? So it's usually found at the end. It will say, what is blank? Step two, you're going to write your two equations. So you have to determine what the two totals. So I'm going to put look at totals. So it'll say the total number of people is, or the total amount is. That's going to help you write your equation. Step three, solve the system using any method. So the method that we have used so far is we've graphed. We've also looked at tables. And now we have done matrices. Those are the three ways that we can solve systems. So once you solve, then you have to write your answer in a sentence, relate it back to the situation. And the last thing I want you to do is just check and make sure it makes sense. Check if it makes sense. So does it seem like a realistic answer in regards to the situation? All right, so we just have two problems that we're going to do today. So let's look at the first one. If Mark and Kyle combined their hourly pay, that would make $16 per hour. Mark's pay is $1.50 more than Kyle's. Find the hourly pay for Mark and Kyle. Step one, define your variables. So I said it's usually at the end where it says what is. So it's find the hourly pay for Mark and Kyle. Those are our variables. So we can use any letters we want for our variables. I'm going to use M for Mark and K for Kyle. So M, and I want to define what M means. So in this, it would be how much Mark makes. So Mark's hourly pay. The second one would be Kyle's hourly pay. So I'm going to use K for that. So we have the two variables. Those are found at the end. All right, write your equations. So one of the equations, so remember how it says the totals, find totals? Let's reread. It says if Mark and Kyle combine their hourly pay, they would make $16 per hour. What does combined mean in math usually? Add together. So their pays together make $16. What is added together? Yeah, Mark and Co. So we could write that as M plus K equals $16. So we use the first sentence, we use the last sentence. So let's look at the middle sentence. Mark's pay is $1.50 more than Kyle. Who makes more money? Mark. How much more? So we're going to say Mark equals, or Mark is $1.50 more than Kyle. So how can I do $1.50 more than Kyle's? Yeah, $1.50 plus K. Yep. So we have two equations now. So the equations aren't AX plus BY equals C, but we have two variables. We just need to get it in the form of M plus K equals something. Um, yeah, money. So the first one's in the right order. The second one's not. How do I get it in the right order? I want M and K. Yeah, I'm going to subtract K on both sides. hmm So we have the system of equations. M plus K equals 16. And then M minus K equals $1.50. What's the easiest way to solve this? What did we just finish learning how to do? Matrix. So I want to make sure it's in the same order each time. So M, K, and then something else. It's already in that order. So what do I put on row one? 1, 1, 16. Row 2? Mm-hmm. And to do it, we do the RREF. Let's put it in the calculator. Second matrix, over to math, down to RREF, alpha zoom, 2 by 3. So you should have it in your calculator. Is it okay to have decimals on this? Because what are we talking about? Money, money. So we would round to 2 decimal places to the nearest penny. Yeah. So we get the solution of 10875, 01725. How do you know which one's which though? Kind of like X and Y or M and K. So see how I did M first, K second? So I'm going to do M first, K second. Same order. So M equals 875 and K equals 725. So we need to write our answer in a sentence. Mark makes 875 per hour. And Kyle makes 725 per hour. And our last thing that we want to do is make sure it makes sense. So I would reread the question and just make sure that it makes sense. So it says, if Mark and Kyle combine their hourly pay, they would make $16. Is that true? If I combine these, would they make $16 together? Yeah. And then Mark makes $1.50 more than Kyle. Does Mark make $1.50 more than Kyle? 875 versus 725. Yep. So we're good. It makes sense. So we're done on that. All right, let's go to the next one. Jason empties his pockets on his dresser every day. He has accumulated 30 coins and dimes and quarters. Their total value is 450. How many coins of each type does he have? So what are our two variables? So I'm going to use D for dimes, Q for quarters. We wrote equations like this, but we haven't written two equations at the same time. All right, so it says write your equation. So quantity, how many does he have? 30. So we're going to have two different equations. One that's going to talk about quantity, that means how many total. We're going to write an equation where it talks about how many total. So we need to write the equation. So to find out how many total, you'd say how many dimes you have plus how many quarters you have is going to give you your total. They told us there are how many total? 30. So dimes plus quarters equals 30. That's our quantity equation. Our value equation. What is value talking about? How much money total? What is the total amount of money? We know it's going to be equals 450. So now we got to come up with the other side. Talk about value. How much total? We got to know how much each is worth. How much is a dime worth? 10 cents. So I'm going to attach the value of each to their variable. So 0.10D plus 0.25Q equals 450. So we have our two equations. What order are they written in? Equals something, money or whatever. So they're written in D and Q. So we can go ahead and write our matrix. That's the easiest way. So we're going to do RREF, and let's write our matrix. So it's D, Q, and a number. D, Q, and a number. So 1, 1, 30. That comes from our first equation, our quantity equation. Our second equation, 10 cents, 25 cents, and 450. Make sure you put the decimal in there. Let's finish this problem out. So second matrix, over to math, down to REF, alpha zoom, 2 by 3, put your numbers in. And we get our solution equation. 1, 0, 20, 0, 1, 10. So how do we know which is which? We know by the order. So remember it was D, Q. So going down, it's going to be D, Q. How many dimes? 20. So D equals 20. What does Q equal? So what does that mean? Our solution should be written as. So he has 20 dimes and 10 quarters. And that makes sense. Together is 30. Then you can find out the total amount of money. So we're going to put this in our journal.